Welcome to room 13.
I don't know when I first noticed it. Maybe it was the way my footsteps echoed a little too long, or how the light from my living room seemed to fade before it reached the end of the hallway. But I'm certain now, the hallway in my apartment is getting longer. I live alone in a one-bedroom apartment on the third floor of a quiet building. It's nothing special, cramped, with peeling paint and a landlord who never answers calls. The hallway connects my living room to the bedroom and bathroom. It's narrow, lined with beige wallpaper that curls at the edges and lit by a single flickering bulb. It used to take me 10 steps to cross it. I counted once out of boredom. 10 steps every time. Last week it took 11. At first I thought I was miscounting. I'd had a long day at work, my head foggy from too much coffee and too little sleep. I laughed it off, pacing the hallway again that night. 11 steps. I tried walking faster, then slower, counting each footfall with precision. 11. My heart did a little flip, but I told myself it was nothing. Just my imagination playing tricks. The next morning, it was 12. I stood at the threshold of the living room, staring down the hallway. The bulb flickered, casting jagged shadows on the walls. The door to my bedroom looked farther away than it should, like the hallway had stretched overnight. I walked to the bedroom, counting each step aloud to keep myself grounded. 1, 2, 3. By the time I reached 12, I was standing in front of my bedroom door, my hand trembling as I gripped the knob. I turned back, expecting to see the living room just behind me. But it was distant, the couch and coffee table small, like I was looking through the wrong end of a telescope. I started measuring things. The tape measure from my toolbox confirmed the hallway was still 15 feet long, same as always. But when I walked it, it felt wrong. The air grew heavier the farther I went, like I was pushing through water. The walls seemed to lean in, the wallpaper's faded floral pattern twisting into shapes that didn't make sense. Eyes, maybe, or hands. I blinked, and they were gone. By Wednesday, it took 14 steps. I stopped using the hallway unless I had to. I'd sprint to the bathroom, eyes fixed on the floor, ignoring the way the bulb's flicker seemed to pulse in time with my heartbeat. At night, I'd lie in bed, listening. There were sounds now. Soft, rhythmic thuds, like footsteps pacing the hallway. But I lived alone. I checked the locks twice, 3 times. No one was there. Thursday night, I noticed the picture frame was gone. It was a cheap thing, a photo of me and my sister at the beach, hung halfway down the hallway. I'd passed it every day for years. Now the wall was bare, just a faint outline where it used to be. I searched the apartment, thinking it had fallen or I'd moved it without remembering. Nothing. That night, the footsteps were louder, closer, like they were just outside my bedroom door. I didn't sleep. Friday, I counted 16 steps. The hallway looked endless now, the far end swallowed in shadow no matter how bright I turned the living room lights. I tried calling my landlord, but the line went straight to voicemail. I texted my sister, asking if she'd ever noticed anything weird when she visited. She didn't reply. I stood at the hallway's entrance, my phone's flashlight beam cutting through the dark. The light didn't reach the end. It just stopped, like the hallway was eating it. I started avoiding the hallway altogether. I'd climb out my bedroom window onto the fire, escape, to get to the front door, looping around the building like a coward. But I couldn't avoid it forever. Saturday night, I needed my laptop from the living room. I stood at the bedroom door, staring into the hallway. It was darker than it should have been, the bulb barely glowing. The air felt thick, pressing against my skin. I took a step. 1. The floor creaked, louder than usual. 2. The walls seemed to pulse, the wallpaper rippling like water. 3. I heard it, a low hum, like a voice too soft to make out, coming from the far end. I don't know how many steps it took. 20, 30. The living room was a pinprick of light, impossibly far. My legs ached, my breath shallow. The hum grew louder, words forming just beyond comprehension. I reached the living room, grabbed my laptop, and turned back. The hallway stretched out before me, longer than ever. The bedroom door was a speck in the distance, the bulb's light barely a flicker. I ran, counting steps in my head. 10, 15, 20. The hum became a whisper, sharp and urgent, like it was right behind me. I didn't look back. When I reached the bedroom, I slammed the door and shoved my dresser against it. The whispers stopped, but the silence was worse. It felt alive, watching me. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on my bed, staring at the door, waiting for something to happen. Nothing did. But I knew the hallway was still there, waiting. Sunday morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my tape measure and marched to the hallway. I was going to prove it was all in my head. I stretched the tape along the floor, watching the numbers climb. 15 feet, exactly as it should be. I laughed, relief flooding me. It was just stress, just my mind playing tricks. I walked the hallway, counting steps. 15, normal. I was fine. But as I turned back, I saw it. The bedroom door was farther away. Not by much, just enough to notice. I walked toward it, counting again. 16 steps. My stomach dropped. I turned around and the living room was gone. Just darkness, stretching endlessly behind me. The bulb overhead flickered out, and the whispers started again, louder, clearer. They weren't words anymore. They were my voice repeating my thoughts, my fears, like the hallway had stolen them from my head. I don't know how long I walked. The hallway kept stretching, the walls closing in, the air so thick I could barely breathe. My phone died hours ago, its flashlight useless against the dark. The whispers are constant now, a chorus of my own voice, mocking me, telling me I'll never leave. I've passed doors I don't recognize, leading to rooms that shouldn't exist. One had my sister's beach photo on the floor, the glass cracked, her face scratched out. Another had furniture I'd never seen. Chairs that moved when I wasn't looking, tables that vanished when I blinked. I'm still walking. The hallway doesn't end. It's alive, I think. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I've always been here, trapped in its walls, my steps echoing forever. I don't know what's real anymore, but I know this. If you're listening, if you're in an apartment alone, count your steps. If the number changes, don't walk the hallway. It's waiting for you, too.